Right. So, most likely to be harmed by guns on college campus. Again, talking about females. Looking at the statistics, one study showed that females had 80% of the burglaries on campus happen to them, and just misdemeanors and all sorts of just negative things. What will being able to conceal carry do? So this was more of an opinion-based thing, but looking on someone that does support guns and under certain circumstances, I think that it can definitely increase security, create less vulnerability and more confidence in the user, in the person. It definitely increases your situational awareness and is greater effectiveness. Like I said earlier, than pepper spray, bear spray, tasers. It will get the job done if you need to help yourself. So the reading recommendations, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this, but this was the big case that kind of happened on April 16th, 2007. This man shot and killed 32 people and wounded 17 others using two semi-automatic pistols. After committing the crime, he then took his own life not long after. The changes that were made because of this event. This is just happening in Virginia Tech. This was just on the campus of Virginia Tech in 2007. So they installed locks on the inside of classrooms and replaced the hardware on double doors to create a new hardware that was not able to lock from the outside. Gave every student an alert and text message system. Now, this was really big because most schools really rolled over the idea of safety to this degree, and it was said that the campus security didn't have any form of communication to let the students know of the active shooter, which if you can't let them know about the active shooter, then that's where you're going to go from there, you know? And the last slide is just a link to um, the paper or the source that I got my um, answers from. So the family impact analysis, there wasn't much going on in the first principle. There really was nothing that stood out or worked. But moving on to the family stability, I thought that helping families avoid problems before they become serious, crisis or chronic situations that erode family structure and function worked. The balance, the safety and well-being of individuals and the rights and responsibilities, other family members, and the integrity of the family as a whole. But the one I want to talk about is the fourth one down, where provide clear and reasonable guidelines for when non-family members are permitted to intervene and make decisions on behalf of family. So this was really talking about the the ability to help and teach and give clear, reasonable guidelines for someone would be an example of having an event on campus or a class or some sort of special event on campus that helps the others families to learn and experience uh, anything about guns to then make their kid and them especially more comfortable with them going to a campus with concealed carry. Like I said before, taking the steps to prevent family abuse, violence, and neglect, it's just being able to have it. I think having a gun, you can feel, if you know what you're doing, of course, you can feel more confident, you can feel less stress, less anxiety of knowing that maybe you are living with someone who is abusing and or taking or starting to take those steps. It'll give you a more sense of comfort, and maybe you don't have to take things into super strong hands, but just knowing that you have something that can protect you if it gets there. Moving on to family diversity, it ensures the accessibility and quality of programs and services for culturally, economic, geographically, racially, ethnically, and religiously diverse families. So obviously, this can just go right back to on campus. What are they doing on campus that will give these families, give these students more of an idea of what positives and what negatives guns bring to campus. And I think being able to have quality programs and services for all different kind of um, races, ethnicities is really good because many people aren't educated on guns. They just think they're killing machines, but they do a lot more of that. Yes, they are the world's a part of the world's big crime rate and everything, but I think there are a lot of positives to also bring out from guns, and having good programs to set them up and learn about them, I think will be very beneficial for someone on campus. And the last one I want to talk about is the one connect families to community resources and help them be responsible consumers, coordinators, and managers of these resources. I really want to focus on just being a responsible consumer because, yes, if you are going to get a gun, you do need to know how to use it, what the ins and outs are, and why you're buying it. Don't just buy a gun to buy it. You should buy it if maybe you like to go hunting, or maybe you just want more security. That's a big plus to have in this type of age. Just have more security when you're walking down the street. Have more security at your home if someone tries to break in. But definitely being a responsible consumer is the number one first look of what you need to do when buying a gun. All right, and to finish it out, the Republican versus Democrat, where do they stand? In a very basic idea, Republicans believe in a system that grants less restrictions when talking about the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms, allowance of concealed carry in more public places around the country, allowing teachers and officials to carry on campuses and schools, and some believe in shortening the waiting period to legally buy guns. So there's always a background check now whenever you try and buy a firearm. It usually takes, depending on where you go, anywhere from 1 day to 1 week. And if you have any sort of mental history, I'll get to it in the bottom here, but they will not allow you to get a gun. Democrats believe in banning assault weapon style weapons, which are banned right now and maybe taking another ban later in the years, and banning high capacity magazines for certain handguns and rifles. So what their idea is that less ammo in the magazine means less damage overall if there were to be a massacre or a deadly event. And just the one similarities that I was hinting at, that they both see eye to eye when talking about gun control. For example, both parties agree on preventing the mentally ill from purchasing guns, also to have background checks for private sales at gun shows. So, in the end, these are my citations, and thank you.